Hi everyone, prepare yourself for an exciting narrative that will capture your attention right away. We'll discuss a hot topic on the internet today, Melania Trump's bikini photos, which some people believe are unsuitable for adult audiences. There are surprises throughout this book that will keep you interested, so make sure to finish it. You won't want to miss a single detail, I promise. Everything from her early days as a model to how these photos have sparked contentious discussions will be covered in an approachable, straightforward, and engaging way. For many people, Melania has always been a fascinating character. Over the years, her elegance and beauty have been exhibited on red carpets and magazine covers. But sometimes, her former career as a model shows a side of her that stands in stark contrast to the public persona we see now. The aforementioned bikini photos are not your typical snapshots. According to some observers, they surpass the boundaries of what is appropriate, even for adults. These pictures have sparked heated arguments and brought up fresh issues with regard to art, personal freedom, and evolving moral standards. See how a single collection of pictures may spark a contentious discussion over what is and isn't proper by watching this video. Melania's boldness in these pictures may surprise a lot of people. Others assert that the pictures exhibit a degree of sophistication and attention to detail that is significantly more than what is often expected of a woman of her quality in the modern era. She wears a bikini in the pictures, which highlights her beauty in a way that many feel allows little opportunity for interpretation, while maintaining a confident manner. This similar self-assurance has led to disagreements amongst her followers and critics. Some people think these pictures are a great way to remember a lifetime of self-assurance and beauty. Some, however, believe that the pictures are overly explicit and go beyond what most people would anticipate from someone in her situation. Stay with me as we examine this topic's many facets, because there is much more to it than first meets the eye. It is important to recognize that the issue with these bikini pictures is not with a particular collection of pictures, but rather with more general ideas of freedom of expression and social conventions. Melania was raised in a milieu that emphasized striking stances and taking beautiful pictures. Expectations for significant individuals have altered throughout time, though, especially for those who have changed careers, these images combine nostalgia for her previous work with a bold, unconventional finding. The public's strong response shows that we are still trying to figure out what constitutes excessive self-expression and what is acceptable. I hope you stick with me through to the finish, because we'll examine how these pictures affect our perceptions of what's pleasant and appealing. The reaction to Melania's swimsuit photos on social media has been amazing. Many likes, shares, and comments, from kind words to scathing critiques, can be found on other websites. Many people think that these pictures are a reminder that women can show their confidence at any age, and that there are various forms of beauty. They contend that her photos ought to be preserved as evidence of her resilience and independence. Others say that because the images are so overtly offensive, they can offend even older viewers who are used to seeing more subdued performances from well-known people. The basic act of photo sharing has evolved into a far more complex conversation about social norms and individual expression as a result of this controversy. What is appropriate for someone who has long been seen as a representation of elegance and refined taste is one of the most frequently discussed topics in these conversations. Some view these bikini photos as a bold break from the modest image that many people are accustomed to, while others see them as a normal aspect of her life that has only lately come to light. The flexibility to manage one's image, the capacity to develop one's own opinions without worrying about the consequences, and the occasionally unreasonable expectations put on public personalities are some of the subjects discussed in the discussion. The pictures themselves have sparked discussions about our moral progress and what we might anticipate from those who are always in the news. Remember that our views are often influenced by years of history and expectation as you examine these ideas. It makes one wonder if a famous woman like Melania has a trait that some people find disgusting, or if it is common for someone in her position. These pictures of people in bikinis make us question whether our customs are still relevant today. They make us consider if our moral principles ought to remain constant or change with time. As you watch this movie from start to finish, I want you to reflect on your own ideas and be receptive to a deeper analysis of what freedom actually means to each of us. The way that art questions conventions is another element that heightens the topic's appeal. Art has always had the power to amaze, provoke thought, and motivate action. These bikini photos could be seen as a kind of artistic expression, since they capture the complexities of age, confidence, and beauty. Some contend that the pictures are overly risque, but others view them as works of art that go beyond the categories we typically assign to individuals. The subject is particularly compelling because of the conflict between tradition and transgression. It's like witnessing a piece of art come to life when we see how public opinion has changed in response to these photos, inspiring us all to reevaluate our own boundaries for brave expression. It's also important to remember that the controversy over these images is occurring against the backdrop of a culture that is undergoing rapid change. Many voices in the modern world are calling for the freedom to express themselves without being restricted by antiquated traditions. Melania's swimsuit photos have been read as a statement by others, showing that people may still grow and express themselves in surprising ways even after years of public scrutiny. A powerful message about the limits we should and shouldn't place on one another is conveyed by the notion that a woman in her mid-40s might astound and astonish us with her avant-garde photography. I want you to remain receptive as the movie goes on and see these pictures as a component of a much broader discussion about morality, freedom, and change. Whatever one's opinion, there is no denying that these pictures have captured our attention and generated an animated discussion. They make us reevaluate both the social conventions that dictate what is deemed acceptable and our own personal boundaries. Whether you favor blatant shows of self-consciousness or a more conventional sense of decency, there is no denying that these images offer a forum for reflection and conversation. The impact that occurs when a well-known somebody chooses to reveal a new aspect of themselves, one that is certainly genuine and thought-provoking, but that some may view as brazen or even inappropriate, is highlighted by every topic and issue they begin. As we conclude our analysis of Melania's bikini photos, I would like to thank you for following along. After reviewing what we've discussed today, I hope you see that this subject is about more than just a selection of images. It's about the more basic concerns of individual expression, the arts, and freedom. After all, stories are usually more complex than they first appear. Beyond any one age, our discussion centers on the foundations of our perceptions of what is good and beautiful in our dynamic environment. As we conclude this in-depth exploration, consider the effects that brave self-expression and creativity have on each of us. The controversy around these images shows how ingrained tradition and modernization are in our societies. It reminds us that what some people find offensive may be a powerful way for others to express themselves. I implore you to think about your own beliefs and the notion that pushing boundaries on occasion is a crucial step in the development process. We learn more about the world and ourselves from these images and the discussions that follow. We appreciate your time and involvement as you set off on this fascinating and controversial journey. Your willingness to examine these subjects with an open mind is what makes these conversations engaging and genuinely fascinating. Watch every movie through to the very finish because there is always a deeper level of meaning to uncover. This conversation should serve as a reminder that beauty, freedom, and self-expression are all unique, potent, and ever-changing aspects of our existence. Enjoy the remainder of your day, and I hope that the ideas and perspectives presented here encourage further discussion and interest in your community.